Previously on X-Men.
Hey guys, welcome back to Podtendo podcast, where we talk about X-Men. I think we call it Previously on X-Men. I'm your host, Mick. I'm joined by
Tyson.
And for no reason, we're a retro video game podcast. Well, I mean, technically, this is an oral history of me and Tyson's life, essentially. And X-Men was a big part of the 90s, and being kids in the 90s, you loved X-Men, you loved that show. We loved the first season. We talked about the fall season. So what we're doing is quick little recaps. So instead of doing a weekly drop-in recap reaction show, we're giving it a little bit of time to digest this go around, right? So a couple weeks ago, you saw... It had to be a couple weeks. I was like, wait, was it last week? No, a couple weeks ago. We dropped through episodes 1 through 4 as a recap. We're going to do episodes 5 and 6 this week, which then means the final 3 episodes of Season 2 of X-Men 97 will be done probably after August 12th. So probably like the weekend of the 15th or something like that. So maybe the week afterwards. I don't know. Oh yeah, we have to talk about video games too, because I had a horrifying realization that I didn't purchase a certain video game, and I was like, no, now I've spent so much money. Maybe we play something else, or we spend lots of money. But that is future problems us. Although we did just hear Kingdom Hearts Part 2, so then it's this. Yeah, end of X-Men. I guess we got to start thinking about video games. So we'll talk about that afterwards, because today we're talking about X-Men 97, episodes 5, Weapon X Lies in DVDs, and episode 6, Danger.exe. But we're going to start, obviously, with the first episode. I'll let Tyson talk and go from there. So, how's it going? Good?
Good.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I'm happy letting you go through all the admin work and setting up all the heavy lifting.
Sure.
Because, I don't know, these are 2 good episodes. So, let's do our admin stuff so we can yap about X-Men. It's the best part. It's so good. I know I'm happy. I'm very, very happy.
Okay.
Something I've been asking for a very, very long time. I have gotten finally.
Sweet. No, that's great. Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of dissension from these last couple episodes. Some other shows I've listened to talked about, everyone's like super excited, super stoked, and then they were kind of like, I don't know, these last 2, they kind of seem like filler. So you see online, filler. I was like, oh, you guys don't remember Podtendo at all. And Life Death? You don't think that was a filler episode? I was like, it'll all come back around, hopefully in the end. So we'll see. I don't know. We could talk maybe a little bit at the end where we think it's going the next 3 weeks. But we got to start. Go back a couple weeks. We got to talk about. Oh, this is it. This is Tyson's maybe favorite episode of all time. Weapon X Lies in DVDs, episode 5 of season 2 from July 15th, 2016. And we're going to start off with our patented terrible Podtendo plot summary as I briefly read through the Wikipedia page. We join Wolverine, Morph, and their former Team X, which consists of Sabretooth, Lady Deathstrike, Maverick, and Garrison Cage as they are headed in a helicopter to a Weapon X facility. On the way, they are attacked by some mutant birds. They crash. Garrison Cage is killed way too soon because he was not annoying in the 30 seconds that he was on the TV. They're attacked by a mutant bear. Wolverine is unable to stop him until Sabretooth steps in, saves their life. They enter the facility only to realize that all the humans have been killed. They find Dr. Cornelius, who was like a Shadow in the original series. Very important that we mention him. He turns out to be a Brood. The Brood are here. They've taken over this Weapon X base, and now it is up to our team to try and survive. They break off into 2 teams. Wolverine and Maverick head towards the hangar to find a vehicle to escape. Lady Deathstrike, Sabretooth, and Morph continue on through the facility. They discover a hidden Omega Red, or a frozen or a captured Omega Red. Find out that Wolverine has actually been captured or been taken over by the Brood. Kills Maverick in a reference to aliens. Then they hatch a plan to give Wolverine back his adamantium, which will help fight off the Brood from within. They trick Wolverine into a cage as the Brood fill the tank. They inject him with adamantium, join his claws, Wolverine then breaks out and helps the team of Omega Red, or fights against Omega Red with Lady Deathstrike, Sabretooth, Morph, and Wolverine as they all escape in the end. And Morph has to think, what has become of our relationship, Wolverine?
Yeah. Wolverine lied to him, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, that's kind of it. I think that's kind of all our plots. That's not terrible. Not the terriblest, not the best. So that's perfect, right in the middle. That's what we're going for. And what was your favorite part of Weapon X Lies and DVDs?
The Brood. I've been asking for them for a very long time. I'm like, I think they're a very cool villain. It's like, it's xenomorphs from Aliens versus the X-Men. What more could you possibly want? They're giant bugs. It's awesome. So I was very happy. I was very, very happy. I wished we could have got a Brood Queen, but yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm happy to just get what I got.
I mean, we hear it. Like, they do mention that they're only looking for the strongest. They're killing the other victims. They're only keeping the strongest because that's what the queen would want. So they do kind of hint that the Brood Queen is around. Whether we see that this season or maybe next season, it's just kind of like a reoccurring thing. I don't think that's gone forever. But yeah, the introduction of... Yeah, the kind of this, essentially what Aliens, right? The Aliens of the X-Men world, right? Aliens was popular. Hey, let's write them into the comic. Brood. There you go. Woo, baby. I mean, it's not as great. It's pretty good, but it's not as great as that level from the X-Men Game Gear game. So I'm going to give it some knocks based on that because it's pretty good. You know, you jump down.
Yeah, hey, that's a classic. That's Brood lore right there.
That is deep Brood lore. And whoa, why are they in this hive nest? I guess in Aliens, it happens. Whatever, they're X-Men. For myself, my favorite part is, do I have like a favorite part of this episode? I'm gonna say Morph's my favorite part. I think we saw him kind of have a bit more character development, have a lot more to do, I don't know. I mean, it was fine. I think it was a good, quick, in and out story. I enjoyed it went fast. It seemed like it was rushed, but you got lots of information. They moved things along, right? We got some character development with Morph. We got some character development with Wolverine. They kind of reestablished him with his adamantium claws, right? Which will kind of help him undigress, right? Maybe my least favorite part is just the quickness, right? His skeleton was ripped out like 4 episodes ago, right? We've seen him twice, and then he gets his claws back, right? So it does seem kind of cheap, and kind of you're like, what was the point of that? I guess just because it happens and it like leads towards onslaught, so that's why we had to do it. But it does seem kind of unnecessary. But so I'd say that's kind of almost like my criticism of this episode. I'll just dive right into that it did seem quick, just getting his claws back. But I also kind of like Wolverine with an adamantium skeleton. Bone claws, they get you there, but at a certain point I'm like, it just doesn't seem as powerful. And when you're going up against a big powerful guy like Apocalypse and Super Sentinels, you kind of need like Wolverine at top shape. So I'm not like super mad. I'm just like, it just seems fast.
Yeah, well, the bone claws are a pretty heavy nerf.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good to have them back. We get some comic cover throwbacks. So I'm like, this is cool. We even got like the Brood Wolverine, which is also cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think this is like, there's a lot of like fun, goofy references. It is what it is. It's a short, like, side tangent-y episode or side, like, but it's kind of nice to just do these things to see, like, catch up on, hey, this is what this character was up to at this point in time. Let's go back to the main story.
And I think if we kind of like look at the first season, right, we kind of had our initial establishing 1 or 2 episodes that kind of just briefly go through big plot points, show you enemies, right, and then we did have some quiet one-off episodes, right, like not everything was super, like, again, Motendo was there, right? Life Death, that Professor Xavier, where he's just in outer space and he comes back and you're like, what the heck? So the show has always kind of moved like that. So I don't think by any means it's kind of an end of the world. It's just one of those moves quickly. This was Wolverine's episode, and with Morph, they had to have something to do, right? Will they have something to do the rest of the season? Maybe not, right? They might just stand there. There's lots of characters, not a lot of episodes, so this is kind of our one shot with those guys. It was pretty good. Lots of fun references, and good from there. So, most notable part. What was the most notable part? Was it them in the chopper talking? Sabretooth flexing, talking about how he works out, or he knows so much about technology. And I was like, well, that's not really what I know about Sabretooth, the 200-year-old man. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I guess that's how old you are. Was it seeing Lady Deathstrike again? Or Maverick? Was it Maverick's Aliens reference of game over, man? Game over. Was it Brood Wolverine? Was it seeing the Brood? Was it Wolverine being saved? Was it the attack from Omega Red? Was it the reemergence of Omega Red? Was it the conclusion, the climax? You have a most notable scene when you think back in this episode. You're like, that stands out.
I mean, I really like this because, like, I really like all these things. Like, I like Sabretooth. I like the Brood. I like Morph. I like Wolverine.
I mean, I think just like,
I like Omega Red.
From what I've already seen already, it's when Morph is playing Cyclops to try and lure out Wolverine, and then he kind of has that moment where Wolverine's sitting behind him in the shadows, and he kind of has like he catches himself at one point. He's like, "You're right behind me, aren't you?" I've already seen that memed a bunch, right? So that's probably gonna be one of the standout points of this. Is Wolverine either as Brood or getting his claws back will probably be the most memorable part of this episode. So
yeah. So I hope that the establishment of the Brood and becoming a bigger threat later on. Mm-hmm. I hope that is why this is important, but I'm like, I don't know. I doubt it. They'll probably just be like, let's bring him back for another like 1 or 2 episodes.
Oh, but it does things, right? Like we get back like
threat.
The Omega Red all of a sudden now is in the story, right? He's no longer in just a submarine. Where is he? Okay, you can kind of check. He's somewhere, right? They can always keep tabs on him. He's escaping. The Brood Queen was mentioned, right? So yeah, it does establish some other just villains that we might have to face at some point, right? I mean, if you just look at the episode titles, I don't know if they're defeating Apocalypse this year. So it might be one of those, because we're now coming out every year with the show, we might, I don't know, they might be turned, like, who knows? We can talk about it afterwards, right? But it's just one of those things where, I think it did lots of good things. I kind of gave my criticism, final praise. They do action really well in this episode, and getting to see kind of the more adult bloodlust and the stabbing and the blood, like it does add something to the kind of the realism, the brutality of some of these fight scenes, and it's done well.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really solid. I enjoyed the heck out of it. Obviously, I could see some of the criticism, like, and I guess my little quick criticism is just, like, during a fight scene, all of a sudden you're just like, it's convenient. They went from like being overwhelmed to like, we can have a nice conversation right now.
Yeah.
But then I did laugh because then Omega Red like busts and like a bunch of Broods come like ripping with him. You're like, oh, I guess that, like, he is probably drawing a lot of attention right now. So like they're probably dealing with some of the stragglers when they're like, oh, this guy who's just like openly causing chaos, we should probably like be defending against him. So I just imagine there's like a cut scene between Omega Red and the Brood just like having this like intense battle off screen while all the like these characters are just having a conversation.
Yeah, and I mean that's just any. I find that with most fight scenes, there's like so many fight scenes that are just. It's not how it works. Like you have one hero and it always sees against 50 guys and he wins, and I'm like, I just don't think you understand how fighting works, Hollywood, right? Like clearly it's a bunch of people who like do choreography. I'm like, wow, cool. I took dance classes. I know how fight. No, that's not how fighting. That's not how battles work, right? Like it's always...
it's always one-on-one.
Yeah.
One-on-one
but
transition to another one-on-one. Sometimes it's like, oh, two guys will swing at you.
Yeah.
I will block you at the same time and take you up with one swoop.
But
And
that,
you're
like
okay.
that's just the failure of any superhero, Avengers, X-Men
Or action movie.
action
It's just hard
movie.
to.
It's just part
It's just hard to film that stuff.
exactly.
Like,
Well, because
you want it to be like an action scene where it like has the story to it
Yeah.
and progresses the scene.
and we're used to the Arnold
Realistically,
Schwarz-
they're just gonna shanked in the back.
Yeah, well, it's the difference of like Arnold Schwarzenegger walking into a room with a bunch of guys with shotguns and they're all firing at him, and he like throws a garbage can and a couple knives, and he gets through the room. But it's cool and it's slow and it's deliberate, and like his power is kind of shown through his actions, right? But it's not realistic. Versus if it was a brutal scene and he was sitting there, you watch a scene where that's like a horror movie. All of a sudden, a guy pumping a shotgun into a table that you're hiding behind. Like, you can film that and show that in a way, but it's very horrific because it's a very, like, real situation. So, it's just kind of one of those, it's goofy action hero stuff, right? So, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But that is our recap. Anything else? Anything else on episode 5 that you're like, oh, that's great? Even just like a loose conversation of just like, I just need to talk about Wolverine for a second.
Well, this is the first time Wolverine kind of gets a step into the spotlight this entire series so far.
Yeah.
It's like they've really haven't. I figured he was going to get an episode last season. It's like I don't remember him getting an episode last season. He was just always kind of like there.
Sure.
So this is the first time he actually gets to have a bit of a story. But it's not really even about him. It's about Morph.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're really trying to use him very sparingly.
Sure.
Which is like clearly an intentional thing.
Which
So,
we've talked about before. He was the makeup of all the X-Men movies, kind of revolved around him. And like, there's literally a cartoon series called Wolverine and the X-Men because of his popularity, right? So it does make sense. They're kind of putting him in the background because we're like, we could just make a whole Wolverine show and you'd watch it. Where that's not what we're doing. Oh, okay, cool, good to know. Good to know. So yeah, anything? No, I mean, I think we'll look back if you think back again to season 1, guys, the vitriol that was coming from Life Death Part 2, we got a Charles story and the stupid Storm story. Oh man, what's gonna happen, right? Like, people were just as frustrated at that point. I'm like, oh no, the sky's falling, and it turned out fine, right? Like when you watched it as a whole and you go back and you watch through this episode, like what does it give us overall? I don't know, but it does show that there's working arounds of the Wolverines and like meeting the Captain Americas, and there's that friendship, and then he has this friendship with the Lady Deathstrikes, and there's like this history with they've established stuff, right? Like it's a quick little shot over the bow of this, what Wolverine's about, this is kind of where he came from, some tie-ins, and really the possibilities going forward. Do they need to have a big team against Apocalypse where you have the Sabretooth shows up, you have the Lady Deathstrikes, maybe, right? Like maybe that's what they're doing, is they're going to set up a all-out war at some point, and you have to reestablish some people, because I think we saw Morph turn into both Lady Deathstrike and Sabretooth last season.
okay.
Right? Like in random fights kind of thing. Remember, Sabretooth shows up with like a cold, like a 6-pack or something like that, and they go to like drink beer and wrestle at some point, and I think Lady Deathstrike shows up maybe when they're fighting like the Executioner, because like she runs in the room and you're like, holy shit, Lady Deathstrike showed up. You're like, man, this is like,
Yeah,
like,
that's a good point. That's
right?
a good point.
So it's kind of one of those like reestablishing them instead of just one-offs.
So do you think that come next season, or that they're already working on like an Avengers, because they've already done the work with a Captain America, a Black Widow, and a Thor?
Like we've seen the Reed Richards was shown, I think, in the next episode is one of the someone that Morph changes into, right? So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
there's a chance that they're just setting up a whole animated universe, and this is just them sprinkling. Morph is how they sprinkle characters in, and then we see them later, right? So like, oh, we need Sabretooth for something. He was just a one-off Morph appearance last year. Let's actually give him some lines, right? And change his character up a bit because he could do this, or we need him in this story. Okay.
Wouldn't that be nice to see Disney, a company known for its animation, making animation again for some of its biggest franchises? Like, wouldn't that be nice?
Well, and there's also like a little bit of, if you think about it, there's probably you just need to kill people. Well, we can send Sabretooth and Lady Deathstrike in a future episode and kill them off, and it's fine. We'll just move on with our lives, right? Like, we don't really need them. They're kind of they've told their stories. We don't have any more to do with them. So it's just like cannon fodder type thing too, right? So in Genosha now, if you saw Sabretooth die, you'd be like, oh, he was kind of funny that one time. That's sad, right? So I don't know, just food for thought. Food for thought with what happened with that episode. Those are kind of all my thoughts. And then, yeah, I'm good. If you are to, oh no, we have to rank our X-Men. So 5-star rankings as we've done for every X-Men movie minus Deadpool 2 and maybe Dark Phoenix or something. I don't know. We fell off on one of the Michael Fassbender ones. Age of the Apocalypse. Did we ever watch those?
Yeah, I think because we watched
No way did we watch Age of the
Olivia
Apocalypse.
Munn. Yeah, because we watched Olivia Munn as Psylocke.
Oh, but we didn't do Dark Phoenix or... Anyways, and all of season 1, and we rank them all, and we tell you how they do. So if you get 5th place, you get 1 point. If you get 1st place, you get 5 points. We keep tabs, and we'll keep track in the end. So Dyson, who is your 5th ranked mutant for episode 5?
I have Omega Red.
All right. He shows up a little bit higher up on my list. So, who do you got? I have Lady Deathstrike at number 5.
Oh, okay, so she's a little higher on my list because she's my number 4. Right. So we might as well talk about her right now.
Yep.
Cool character.
Yep.
I like. She seemed to have a calm head and be oddly very helpful this go round. Usually she's pretty like antagonistic towards Wolverine, but for whatever reason they seem to be getting along right now. So it's like, well, this is kind of cool. She's quite a competent person you would want to have on your team. You're like, I could see why you brought her. So
yeah, no, that's fair. I had her at 5 because again, she was full of like rage and just kind of like yelling a lot, kind of manipulative. Seemed like she had some ulterior motives. Whatever her motives happen to be now, they seem to be a bit less, I don't know, intense, for lack of a better word or whatever. So she got 1 point. Plus I needed to give it to someone, and I wasn't giving Kane any love. And Maverick, well, I don't really care about you, so you died. So sorry.
yeah, and I kind of like what did he say? Like, did he say the whole game over, man? I don't know. That whole like scene, I was like, wow, they've really just kind of made this character seem like pathetic.
Yeah. Cool.
And I felt something was off when he was screaming, help me over the mic. And I was like, the radio, and I was like, I don't know what this version of Maverick.
Yeah. And most people said that. Like, oh, well, Maverick came and gone. He was cool, but he died. Anyways. So that's our number 2. It's our 4. My 4 is Wolverine. So, wow. He's so far down on the list. You probably have him up higher, though. So who do you have at number 3?
I have Sabretooth.
I also have Sabretooth at 3.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, he's funny. I like he's a 200-year-old man, and he lived this long because he stayed up on technology, and I'm like, this is funny.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this.
Yeah, no, I think that works. I agree. It's funny, that works. He had some good lines. They've kind of reestablished him less as like the big brooding Hulk that's just against Wolverine from like the previous season, and kind of reestablished him more with like his current canon in the comics, which is fine, which is a good upgrade. It's nice. Hopefully, again, maybe he's not just cannon fodder and he does something, but maybe Sabretooth does nothing ever. Who knows? Who knows what they have planned? Who do you have number 2?
I got Morph.
All right, I have him a little higher, and I have Omega Red at number 2.
Okay, interesting. Why do you have Omega Red so high?
Again, this is supposed to be I think I've always tried to rank them based on how they use their powers, right? So having him be this undead zombie, this fighting weapon that kind of single-handedly was able to fight off the Brood, right? But the Brood couldn't affect him. He was kind of this unstoppable killing weapon. I think you see his power, his kind of force when he breaks into the final bay, and is kind of going after the Wolverine. It's not until Wolverine actually gets his claws back and is able to break out that they're able to stop him, right, hold him off. And if it wasn't for a big tower falling over, he could have chased them and been as big a threat as the Brood was at any one point. So I think just the power that he showed with his mutant powers give him my second ranking.
That's fair. That's fair. I always kind of liked him as a villain. Kind of, he's a little bit one note.
Yeah,
just like, haha, I'm so powerful. Time to destroy you all.
I like me a good
like,
Russian villain.
Yes.
I like me a Red Dawn. I want to shout Wolverines and like run side missions and stuff, right? Like that's just something that's just a part of my like 90s DNA that I'm like, I kind of hate Russians and like the red scare. And he's just as perfect.
So how often do you rewatch Red Dawn is my true question. Is that your go-to summer movie?
Oh, it's just constantly. I've been watching it, so I'm just like that time Bucky Barnes worked at the Fernie Ski Hill in Hot Tub Time Machine. No, I've seen it. I've seen like Red Dawn like once or twice, and I was like, oh, I see. It's kind of silly, eh?
Yeah, the parodies sometimes do a bit better.
But
a bit more
Wolverines! Fun. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. All right, let's go be like let's go fuck up some Ruskies. I love it. I love me some bad Russians. It's just like, that's why. That's more of the reason he got a better ranking, because I was like, Russians are such good villains.
Grew up on 80s movies.
Yeah.
The Russians are generally the bad guys.
Oh, it's just like when you're like, Russians are good. I'm like, what? No, they're bad. Red Scare. And then you have him at 5. You just were like, yes, he's here.
Yeah. He's fine.
Okay.
He's fine.
All right.
So I got at number 1. I got Wolverine.
Yeah.
Doesn't do a ton, but I think he has a bunch of standout stuff.
Yeah.
Shows that how a threat he can be on the battlefield.
I pushed him down a little bit more because I did feel like he manipulated Morph. I don't mind so much about the rest of the team, right? Yeah, he was using them as cannon fodder to get what he wants. That's cool. That's neat. That shows him some agency. But then, getting turned. Those are cool moments. But I kind of feel like him just getting like adamantium, which was like one of the worst traumatic experiences in his life. And it just like, he got rid of that Brood infection, and then he's just kind of good to go. It kind of felt like almost needed more weight or something like that, and I just didn't sense that. So that's why he was down a little bit. Plus, he was mean to Morph. What are you doing?
That's fair. He was mean to Morph, but him talking about how like the adamantium skeleton was the thing that was holding his old bones together. I think that's kind of like undersold, but him being like not being able to take down a bear versus being able to take down like a bunch of or Omega Red and a bunch of Brood. It's like, it's obviously he's completely nerfed right now, and he's surrounded himself by all his villains, and I don't think he invited Morph along. I think Morph invited himself along, and it was like, oh, what are you doing? And it's like, oh yeah, no, this is the story I'm telling you, Morph, because I don't want anyone to know that I feel weak, because he just doesn't want to open up to it. I don't know. I maybe I'm just reading extra depth to it, but I took it as a pretty solid Wolverine story.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of a loner and sticks to himself, even though there's people who clearly would be like, I'm Wolverine's friend. I feel like Wolverine says, I have no friends. So I don't know. I thought it was really well done.
Yeah.
I had a blast. I was smiling all the way through it, but it might just be like, hey, you gave me the Brood in like an animated form or in live action form or whatever. It's like, I'm in any form, I'm so happy.
Well, and not only
like,
that, but
this is
but it does kind of establish Wolverine in this continuity as being a little bit more of the loner, a little bit more of the selfish, right? Versus you're used to the Hugh Jackman version at this point, where he is the paragon of everyone. He is the greatest mutant. He is the single best man for the job, right? He's not supposed to be.
Yeah, he's not Captain America.
He's supposed to be a flawed character. He's supposed to not be perfect, right? So yeah, absolutely. Those are all good points and great. But my rankings have no integrity, hence why I pushed him further down the list for arbitrary reasons. So you'll see a guy on my next list got 2 points because he wore a funny shirt. My number 1 is Morph. Why Morph? I think the easier number 2. Kind of his breakout episode. He used his powers well. He had some good character moments, some good growth. You saw him kind of change his opinion. He wasn't just like the love-struck broken character that we kind of recognized or remember kind of from the first season. Right towards the end, he kind of did get a little bit more autonomy. Yeah. So and again, good use of his powers. Him being Cyclops is really funny. It made me laugh. So he got number 1. I'll tell Jean, and she's gonna give me so many smooches. Okay, right.
It's brilliant, actually. Like Morph is so funny. Morph is like the unsung hero of this, which is like why I'm really happy he was the center of this episode. It's like I'm totally fine as a Wolverine fan.
Yeah,
sweet. I'm happy you backseating Wolverine and giving me an entire Morph like driven episode. This is the best.
Sweet.
Give me more of this.
Yeah. Cool. Sweet. So that wraps up episode 5. Let's see if we can get through episode 6. 30 minutes, eh? I was thinking we were going to do, like, at one point we were almost done in, like, 15. I was like, man, we flew through this. Like 30 minutes in total. Might be an hour. That's fine. What else are we doing? Danger.exe, episode 6. So as a form of therapy, Xavier continues to relive Magneto's death by the hands of Apocalypse in the Danger Room. Yeah. And you're like, that doesn't seem super healthy. Towards the end, there's a point where Apocalypse almost steps on Xavier. He's like, hey, what are you doing? Danger Room's like, sorry, just feeling like I'm failing you because you're continually running through this program. Sorry, my bad. It's normal. Meanwhile, Polaris, she's working with X Factor, attacks a group of, I don't know, smugglers that have some guns. They might be the Executioner. It's like the Executioner without a mask, and now he's like some religious fanatic. Anyways, they're stealing guns, so she attacks them, almost drops a boat on them. Luckily, Havoc saves her. She gets kicked off of X Factor for that reason and returns to the X-Men, only to find that even though the mansion was completely destroyed, her room has not been touched. She has a touching moment with Cyclops, Jean, and Beast, who shows up with a cool Howard the Duck t-shirt. I was like, yeah, Howard the Duck. Not to throw away any spoilers for what's going on later, but it's like, yeah, it's a cool shirt. Polaris joins Bishop in the Danger Room, where Professor X is talking to a bunch of New Mutants. I think it's like Gen X or something like that. He's establishing the school because X-Men actually can no longer function in the United States anymore. They've been outlawed. They're just a school. Storm is a headmistress. There'll be kids at the school this time, but watch out for Sentinels. And with that, Professor X, Beast, Jean, and Cyclops, I believe, all head to Genosha to think about Magneto some more. Meanwhile, in the Danger Room, all of a sudden, Flight is taken out. We don't really know what he does. Apparently, he almost tries to kill himself in the comics. And you're like, so they're kind of like hinting at that. Polaris, Bishop remain in the Danger Room with the kids while Forge, Storm, and Morph maybe head to the front gates to investigate some type of disturbance. There was no disturbance. The disturbance all along was the Danger Room wanting to kill everyone. So she tries to kill the mutants. Polaris uses her magnetic powers to try and break out. The Danger Room actually now becomes a person. It's called Danger. She's a girl. She attacks Bishop. She attacks Polaris. They have a cool little standoff. But not enough because she escapes in a jet. Unfortunately, the X-Men are unable to chase after the jet, which is headed to Genosha to take out Xavier. So Polaris and Bishop, unofficial X-Men, arrive, help Xavier fight off, and then now imposing danger, which results in a big team-up of Polaris and Professor X, and he's like, remember Magneto, if you do, you'll have all his powers. And it's like, we never ever lost our magnet guy. And she's like, yeah, that's right. Pcha! And blows up Danger, and everyone's like, we're all good. But also, why don't I just live here? So Professor X establishes X Corp, which essentially is the X-Men on Genosha, and the U.S. government can't do anything about it. So suck it, Val Cooper. And by the way, Apocalypse is shown to be in Athens, resurrecting Gambit as one of the Horsemen. So he's back. Hooray.
Yeah. So a lot happens. And we can't go too long without having a magnet person on our team.
No. Oh God, no.
Now that we've had Magneto on our team.
We need a bone claw guy or a metal claw guy. We need a magnet man. As soon as they're gone, we need to find more. This isn't we're not flexible with our team structure.
Like until we cannot do anything else until we recruit these
Polaris,
two
sometimes in the
distinct-
continuity, you're not even a child of Magneto, but this one, you clearly are. Oh, okay.
Yep. And you were on the original team, and we got some fun stuff with like, hey, there's Iceman and an Angel, and there's Beast. Look at the whole gang.
It's there.
They're all together,
Just like back in the day. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So with that, favorite part of said episode.
Man, I don't know. The starting on Professor X just going through like trauma training and just like numbing himself to like reliving Magneto like burst like disintegrating in front of him again and again and again. It's like this is some messed up stuff. Somebody needs to talk to him.
I do really like the sound that Apocalypse's gun makes. So when he shoots Magneto, it kind of sounds like that zap sound. It's definitely from one of the video games. Like I feel like they stole that from the Sega game, but it's a very satisfying like gun sound. I'm like, yeah, that's how someone would be eradicated. If you had like a big laser gun on your arm, that's definitely the sound it would make. It's great.
Yeah.
Whoever
chose that one, they nailed it.
Yeah, no, that was really good. So myself, favorite part of this episode, I really enjoyed that we're then in the X-Men. We saw a bunch of the X-Men, but they still kind of took the time to establish two other characters, right? So we kind of got Bishop's-ish kind of reintroduction this season, as well as the Polaris, right? So kind of watching the Bishop use his powers as long as Polaris kind of just in these big grandiose battles. Was good. It was refreshing, right? It wasn't just the Cyclops, pew pew, eye powers. No, Jean's gonna become the Phoenix and solve this problem, right? No, it was here's a different solution, here's a different character to the team. Does it become again? Are we just introducing more cannon fodder? I don't know, right? I don't know the intentions of why we're building up the team, but I did think that Polaris and Bishop were definitely my favorite parts of this episode. Hold on.
Well, I think.
Wait, let me just check. Yeah, they were definitely my favorite parts of this episode. Good. Okay. I didn't want to be called a liar in 10 minutes.
There you go. I was going to say, I'm assuming that we're building up the team because we just fought Apocalypse and got wrecked. Mm-hmm. So now we need to formulate the team to be like, okay, now we have enough pieces in place to take down Apocalypse. I'm assuming that's what we're building to. Maybe most of them don't make it out and that we get to live with the consequences of that moving forward. But who knows? It's also X-Men, so it kind of feels like they're building up to like Krakoa and like the resurrection thing that they did recently in the comics. But I don't know. Maybe they're going to strictly 90s lore. I don't know. I'm excited to see. It's, I don't know, having a good time. It's... I think that they're building up cannon fodder, but they're also building up the team because like it's clearly going into the Apocalypse showdown.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Is it going to be leave it as a hanger as the all is lost moment? Probably.
Well, it's like they pick and choose from certain comics too. Like I said, I've been doing some reading on the side. Like I read through Age of Apocalypse the 12, and it's the story of Apocalypse and Wolverina's death. Or no, Wolverine is war, and then he attacks the X-Men, and him and Angel fight for like 2 books, and then Apocalypse is like, I need these 12 mutants so I can become Nate Summers, and then they just, at the end, Cyclops jumps in the way, and that's like the ending. And I was like, man, that was like kind of a terrible 300 pages. Like nothing happens. Just really doesn't go anywhere, right? So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, there's still lots to do, right? Like you get the Rachel Summers of it all. She's got to be born at some point. I think like there's a thing. Anyways, we'll see kind of where it goes. Most memorable scene. I think I left this open. Was it watching Apocalypse kill Magneto a bunch? That was fun. Xavier got to torture himself. Also fun. Was it seeing the new X-Men? And you're like, whoa, there's that guy from Gen X. Whoa. Was it seeing Polaris?
Quentin Quire.
Was it seeing the pictures of Iceman or the original team? Was it... what other things happened? Was it seeing Val Cooper? use bureaucracy? Was it Gambit waking up at the end? Was it watching Professor X and the other X-Men in Genosha? Was it seeing them fight Danger? Was it
Polaris flipping ships?
Yeah, or was
and then ripping a ship in half and making it boxing gloves, and you're like,
was it
God, I love Polaris. She's so cool.
seeing Professor X's cool chair where he shoots and it like flies around and you're like, wow, he's so capable in battle? Not really though.
Yeah. Well, then he gets a new chair at the end. He gets that new style chair instead of the old like yellow one.
Well,
he gets that newer one.
So one of the reasons that he failed against Apocalypse was because his old crappy ancient Egyptian wheelchair, those weren't very good, right? The ancient Egyptians didn't build the best wheelchairs. So when it fell over, he's like, oh no. But this other one is like, I got guns and I can do a slide feature. So maybe his next one has more functions to take out Apocalypse. So there you go.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Yeah. I think that's everything that happened. I don't think there's any other random callbacks. So of those, what was the most memorable scene?
It's Gambit.
Yeah, okay. That's
Saying Gambit, I was like,
Sure.
yeah, awesome.
Yeah, okay.
Second runner-up, the Polaris boat scene where she flips everybody. That's so coolly animated, where she's just like standing there and everything just like rotates, and you're like, damn.
Yeah, I would say
that's so boss.
Her introduction, her coming on, and then kind of her first using her powers and having like the Aurora Borealis kind of Northern Lights effect around her character. I thought that was done really well, and I really enjoyed the green kind of Aurora Borealis vibes instead of like the Magneto hot blue intense magnetic kind of vibes. We had kind of more of this, I don't know. It's cool. Works well with her hair. I like that. That's my favorite. That was probably my standout part. Negative. What's a criticism of this episode?
Is Danger really that interesting of a character? No. Did I laugh out loud when she knocked everybody out and then ran to a jet and flew off? And then when she sees them, she's like flying into the jet, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's good.
The consciousness of the Danger Room is flying a jet to Genosha.
Yeah.
It's kind of dumb. It's kind of dumb.
But it did remind me that there was, do you remember the X-Men? We had the Blackbird toy, but then you could also get like the mini jets that were just like a little toy that you could put a guy in. Man, that's a pretty cool toy. I've seen a couple of those on eBay after this episode, and I was like, that's definitely a toy I wanted as a child. That would have been good. Then your X-Men could fly around.
100%.
Yeah.
But then again, I also wanted the set of all the toys.
Yeah.
Of all the characters.
Yeah.
And then I would find that one obscure character like Junkyard Jim or whatever the heck his name was. I'm like, could you find him? No.
Yeah.
And I'd always ask for that one character that was never there.
Yes, Tyson had a knack for picking like the rare toy out of the box. I want that guy. Oh, we don't have him because we only have one per box. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
But when it worked out, it worked out.
Sure. For myself, criticism of this episode. No, I think they did a lot of good stuff. I think they moved forward. Do I have any criticism? That we spent time with like Generation X characters instead of established X-Men for that little brief period. I realized they were like just in danger and it wasn't that long, but it's just so limited time. I'd love to see more X-Men, even though we just get like snippets of them sitting at boardroom tables at this point. And I'm like, hey, that's worth some points. So maybe that's my criticism, but for all in all, I think I was like, it was an okay episode. It kind of moved the plot forward, right? Like they get out of Westchester. They're now, again, establishing more of like the Krakoa, something like that. Kind of trend, right? So you kind of see where those going. X-Corp, it's just kind of different. We'll see kind of how that moves off in the next couple rounds too. Then finally, praise, or is there anything else you want to talk about specifically with this episode? And you're like, wow, cool. Like the mutants or like the robots that the Danger Room makes at one point. And I'm like, hey, those are those robots at Cyclops is always fighting in the intro. Cool.
Yeah. It was cool. Like it was kind of like the Danger Room scene where Bishop and Polaris essentially have to run the Gen X kids through the different evaluation trials or whatever. No, like these are pretty extreme, actually. But I just was like, the Gen X was super disappointing because like, when are any of you gonna just like do anything? You're just kind of like always running out of the way. It's like, do something. Don't just make it Polaris and Bishop have to do everything. I understand that they can, but it's like, just guys, come on, just please contribute. You're driving me nuts.
Yeah, that's fair. Cool.
I don't know.
Sweet. Anything else? No. Again, they're building up the world. It kind of seems bigger now, right, than it did in the last season. Just kind of with where the X-Men are established. They now have schools. I've seen tons of characters littered throughout, right? We still have the presence of the X Factor that we're kind of seeing them butt heads kind of against the X-Men. It'll be fun to see when X-Force at some point. They've been back for a little while. Like, you think once they came back and they were like, oh, Professor X is here, that Cable would be like, maybe we should go talk to Professor X because, like, Mom and Dad are here, and I guess maybe we should go, like, hang out. They're also wonder what they were up to. How did they fare fighting Apocalypse? Hey, Cable, now that I'm home, do you want to maybe talk about Apocalypse? He, like, killed my friend Magneto. Maybe we should come up with a team. I don't know. At some point, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. So that's, we will rank mutants, but I think before we do that, we look at the last 3 episodes. We got Strange Land, Savage Hearts. I've already seen a picture, and I'm sorry if I'm spoiling this. Oh my gosh, I'm doing it. Spoilers. I think Colossus is apparently maybe in the Savage Land, so that's kind of cool.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I've seen him in picture. He's like in his acolyte gear, so they think maybe they're going to go to the Savage Land because one of Magneto's acolytes, Cortez or something, might be there or something. Obviously, Dead Man Hands probably has to do with Gambit, right?
No, definitely.
Yeah. So we're one more episode. More than likely, we're getting some establishment of like Cable showing up, and he's like, "We have to go after Apocalypse." Like, yeah, let's do that. We also have Colossus here now, and he's like, "Hello, I am the good Russian." And you're like, "Oh, perfect, excellent." And then I guess you go fight Gambit, fight Apocalypse. And then we wait for a while. I don't know. That's probably what's going on, maybe, sort of.
Yeah, I was thinking suspicion that Rogue might, like, he's obviously going to try to form his 4 horsemen. It's like, who do you think he's going to grab? You like, Gambit, Rogue. Who else seems susceptible to turning bad at this point? Maybe Professor X. I don't know. I have no idea. But I'm like, if he's building his 4 horsemen, it'd be nice to see him like resurrect the team and then like leaves on the cliffhanger.
And
pick it up
versus
next season.
And that's the thing. I'm like, at this point, I kind of feel like if they kill Apocalypse and like eradicate him forever, I don't know if it's going to be like the most satisfying result, you know? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they will. Maybe they're like, look, we finished it. We don't have to keep going up on Apocalypse. We're going to do Dark Phoenix again. Oh, good. Perfect. That's what we wanted. Oh, yeah. But now, unless there's anything else, no, I think I'm happy. I'm satisfied. Anything less divisive of an episode when they're a bit more straightforward, let's talk about. Funny how that works. Let's rank some mutants and then get out of here for today. Who do you have at number 5?
I got Beast.
You have Beast. I have him a little higher. I have Storm at my number 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
She just missed my list.
Yeah. She became his headmistress. Some people were bummed that she's now at the school, and they're like, oh, but how is she going to keep training and getting... Storm doesn't need to train, man. She could control solar flares. She's super powerful. And if I wanted any single person in charge of training the next generation of X-Men, it definitely is Storm. So she got to establish. So good job by you. But my number 4, I have Beast. So he showed up. He says some line about every parting is like death, but every greeting is like heaven. And he has a Howard the Duck t-shirt. And I was like, Beast. You know, you don't do much, but good for you.
He, this is my favorite type of Beast. Like, he's just like polite.
Yeah.
Like poetic, and just a delight to be around. And was just so happy to see Polaris. And just like, this is just such a wholesome moment. I love this.
Yeah, nice. Number 4, who do you have?
I got Gambit.
All right, hey Gambit.
Is he on your list?
Yeah, no, he's not. No, I did the thing where I gave guys some points because he just sat in the background one time. So, but not Gambit.
That's fair.
Someone else. I was like,
I gave Gambit points because he showed up and he's back.
Perfect.
So here's points.
Okay. Who do you have at number 3?
I got Gene.
Oh wait, Gambit. Yes, we see him in the resurrection. It just kind of we knew it was coming. They kind of hinted at it at the end of last season. I'm glad that we got it early. It wasn't really a shock. We knew it was coming. So yeah, Gambit. Cool. You have Jean Grey. What did Jean do?
She was involved into like combo attacks.
Oh, yeah.
Like Cyclops had her team up or did like a team up attack, and then her and Polaris did like a team up attack. I am a big fan of that. Is one of my favorite things in X-Men is when 2 X-Men team up and they like combine their mutant powers to do something cool. Jean was involved in 2 of those, so she gets points.
Sounds good. For myself, I have Bishop. So I love Bishop. Love watching him do some power ups. Become super powerful, right? Especially if you hit him with a power or something like that. He has a couple of good, again, kind of synergy attacks on Danger, and I think that just gave him some points because I was like, I do enjoy watching a good let's supercharge Bishop here, and there was definitely a point where kind of him and Polaris have a fun back and forth. She's like, wow, look at that, teaching the children such good methods. Shoot first. He's like, that's where I come from, baby. You got to shoot first. Oh, okay, shoot first. Yeah.
Yep.
Who do you have at number?
Makes sense sometimes.
Who do you have at number 2?
I got Polaris.
All right, Polaris. I have her a little higher up on my list, so we'll talk about her there. My number 2, I have Nightcrawler. He showed up. He has a cute little suit. He has like a fun little X suit, and I was like, man, that's the cutest little suit. And he sat at a table. I was like, yeah, that's worth 4 points.
You go, buddy.
Yeah,
nailed it.
Definitely could be talked into like a 3rd spot in Bishop a bit higher, but I was like, you know what, Bishop? I think you've got some like love somewhere else in the show, so I got to keep those averages up.
That's fair. That's fair. And giving Nightcrawler 4 points for being the best man. It's the best.
And he has like his stupid little red suit is fun and it's comic book accurate, but his new clothes look just so cute, and he's got this nice like little poofy collar, and it looks like a very comfy coat that he's wearing, and I was like, man, you rock that. That fit you got on, it's tight.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Number 1, I have Polaris. We saw her attack the terrorists or whatever, the smugglers at one point at the beginning, basically single-handedly. She has some great cool effects. She helps take out she actually charges up the danger room so that it's able to escape, and then I was also able to ultimately defeat her. Has kind of that emotional tie with Magneto. Has a scene of like, oh, I felt him, Professor. Oh, it's my father. My father that's been in my life the whole life, and I didn't just make it up. Oh, okay, sure thing. I thought that was a great display of her character. Now, who do you have number 1?
I got Professor X.
All right.
Professor X. Yeah. That drama scene, and I feel like he's going through some character development, and I'm going to give some points to the writers writing some character development and letting this whole thing evolve, and starting X Corp on Genosha's remains. It's like, I like these plays. I like these thoughts. I like where this is going. This is very interesting. You are literally like growing because you lost Magneto to Apocalypse and you weren't strong enough. So let's see where you go with this. I like where this is going. So points.
Yeah, awesome, super solid. That's good. So that wraps up our show. Episodes 5, episode 6 in the books. We got 3 more to go. We kind of gave you a brief, kind of what we think might happen. I mean, lots of our show last time, though, like I re-listened, was just speculating. Like there was 5 minutes where we're like, oh, this is going to happen. Now, you were like on Bastion's dick on like episode 3, so like kudos to you that you're like, oh, I think this guy might be something. Oh, yeah, he is something. Right, so it is one of those, just based on the last season, right? If we kind of look how the show's formatted, this is kind of the low parts. I think the low parts are pretty good. Looking forward to kind of the next 3 weeks or so. And yeah, go from there. Formulate some plans. Make sure to write down my like rankings when I think of them rather than do it weeks later. Like, I think on our first show, I was like, I'll just come up with them all now. And I was like, I don't really remember episode 3 that well, versus I think every week I was just like filling up my little spreadsheet, making a note. So
That's fair. I have to skim the episode real quick. I'm just like grab it and just like scrub it real quick. I'm like, okay, that's what happened. Yeah. Okay. Here's my list. Like, I'm not sold on it. It's probably going to move. And then you talk through it and you're like, yeah, it definitely needs to move. So
yeah. Awesome.
It happens.
Cool. Sweet. So that's I think that wraps up our show. I don't want to. I think we're probably over our limit, anyways. So all the more time we talk, it's just going into the next whatever our next budget is or something like that. So, anyways, yeah, cool, sweet. Did we miss anything?
Okay, well,
no.
Nah.
Well, if we did, we still have another show to catch up. So cool. All right. Well, good chatting with everybody on a Monday. No, not often we pop shows out on a Monday, so that's when the show is dropping. Start of the week, get you guys ready, and then hopefully the next 3 weeks you got a bunch of fun summer plans, doing something, swimming, going on a boat, and watching X-Men. Woo, sounds fun.
Yeah, should be fun.
Awesome.
See you, everybody.
Bye.